In this example, we are now moving on from clearing fractions to solving, okay? So one step further. So if we remember from last lesson, when we're clearing a fraction, we look for the common denominator, which in this case is 3 and 5. In this case, we see the command term solve though. So we want to go all the way until we've cleared the fractions and then solve the subsequent easier equation. When we multiply this by the first term on the left, the 5's cancel and we're left with 3x. When we multiply it by the second term, the 3's cancel and we're left with plus 5x. On the left-hand side, there's no denominator, so 3 times 5 times 1 is 15. All right, now we have a simple grade 6-7 equation. 3x plus 5x can be collected to give you 8x and equals 15. Divide both sides by 8. And x equals 15 divided by 8. In the next example, the common denominator is 4 and 3. Again, the command term is solve, so we're going to multiply by 4 and 3 until we've cleared the fraction and have a subsequent easier equation to solve. 4 times 3, the 4's cancel. We're left with 3d. Then we multiply 4 times 3 times 2, no denominator, so 8 times 3 is 24, equals, when we multiply that by the first term on the right-hand side, the 3's cancel and you're left with 4 times the numerator, 3d plus 2. And then we multiply by 4, no denominator, so 4 times 4 times 3, 12 times 4, is 48. Again, now we've got an easier equation to solve, so we collect like terms. On the left-hand side, we're finished. 3d plus 24 equals, expand the brackets, 12d plus 8 plus 48. Here we can collect the numbers together, so I have 3d plus 24 equals 12d plus 56. I'm going to take away the 24 from both sides. Actually, I have more d's over here. Well, it won't matter. Okay, so I'm left with 3d equals 12d. 56 minus 24 is 32. Take 12d away. I have minus 9d equals 32. Divide both sides by negative 9. And d equals negative 32 over 9. All right? The last example, before we move on to one that's a bit more challenging, is one with a denominator of 7 and 2. So multiply everything by 2 and 7. And when that first term gets multiplied by 2 and 7, the 7's cancel and you're left with 2. Put the w minus 1 in brackets so that you don't forget to expand. Subtract 4w minus 1. Multiply by 2 and 7, the 2's cancel and you're left with the 7. Now we come to the equal sign, and here the 2 times 2 times 7, 14 times 2 is 28. No denominator to cancel here. Then we have a look. We're going to now expand. 2w minus 2. That minus sign goes through both things. So important to put the brackets there. I can't tell you how many students miss this. Okay, so minus 4w plus 1. Minus minus is plus. Then that's all multiplied by 7. So actually, it would have made more sense to make that a 28 and that a 7. And here, 28. Okay? Collect the like terms. Minus 26w. Minus 2 plus 7 is plus 5. Take away 5 from each side. Minus 26, W equals positive 23. And therefore W is 23 over negative 26. All right. So to recap, when you see the command term solve, not only do we clear the fractions to make our life easier, but then we solve the subsequent resulting equation. One more, this one's a step up in difficulty. We've got some surds mixing in here as well. So again, let's have a look here. It's pretty long and ugly, but our denominators are very simple, just numbers, 3 and 9. So we know that we can multiply everything by 9. Right? Both sides. And this is our first term. 9 times 5 over 3. 9 over 3 becomes 3 times 5 is 15. X plus 2 is part of that term as well. Then we multiply it by the 4 nines. The 9s cancel and we're left with a 4 in the brackets x root 50 minus 81 equals here. The 9s again cancel, left with 10 root 8x. Okay, let's expand some of these brackets. 15x plus 30 plus 4x root 50 minus 4 times 81 is 324 equals 10 root 8 and x. Okay. We're going to work on these surds now before I collect the like terms. So I have 15x plus 30 plus 4x root 25 from the last unit. 25 and 2 make 50, and 25 is a perfect square. Minus 324 equals 10. The 8 has a perfect square factor of 4, and x. Okay. Carrying on, 15x plus 30 plus, now this is a 5 times the 4 is 20, x root 2 minus 324 equals, this is a 2 now, 2 times 10 is 20 root 2x. Okay, we can see there's x terms here and here. So let's take 20x root 2 away. That's quite convenient because they're gone. So since we took them away, our resultant equation, 15x, and here, when we collect these together, we get minus 296, and equals, since we took the exact same thing away from itself, we have 0, and only 2 more lines. We're getting very close now. 15x is 296, therefore x equals 296 divided by 15. Alright, so even though this big thing looked pretty intimidating, you had some surds in there from Unit 1 to simplify, you had some fractions. If we take it one piece at a time and break it into smaller chunks, everything's quite manageable.